Okay, so we're going to look at how we write name formulas for acids. So basically, we're going to focus on acids being a special class of ionic compounds. The cation is always hydrogen plus 1. If the formula is hydrogen written first, then it usually indicates this is an acid. We'll talk more about these later on as we go throughout the year of how to recognize them and when this really matters. But right now, we're just going to focus on naming these things. So for simplicity, the acids like I said, that we're going to be concerned with are just special class, that we're going to name them differently. But in order to name them, that if they do not contain oxygen, basically you don't need to name the cation. The acid name just comes from the anion that we're using. So you use hydro in front and ic at the end. So for example, HCl is hydrochloric and HCN is hydrocyanic acid. So if you have an oxy acid, that means it contains oxygen. What we're going to do is you basically have to name the oxyanion, and then there's a couple suffixes that are used, okay, depending on what it ends with. So in order to identify these, what we're going to work on is naming the actual anion first, and then we'll work on naming the acid from there, okay? So this first one here, F-1. So F-1 is fluoride, okay? Remember how we name these anions here? And there is no oxygen involved, so this is just hydrofluoric acid. I'm just going to leave the word acid out. All of them end in acid, okay? HCl is already listed above. This is chloride, so hydrochloric. Br-1 is bromide. So this is hydrobromic acid, okay? The next one we have is I-1 is iodide. So this is hydroiodic acid. H2S, the root there with the anion is S-2, which is called sulfide. So this is hydrosulfuric, there we go, acid. All right, NO3-1, these now have oxygens in them. So this is called nitrate. Notice that if it ends in 8, we're going to change it to ic. If it ends in ite, we're going to change it to us, okay? All right, so in order to name this one, this is just going to be nitric acid. C2H3O2-1 is called acetate. So this is acetic acid. H2SO4, so SO4-2 is called sulfate. So this is sulfuric. That's opposed to SO3-2 is called sulfite, which makes this sulfurous acid. CO3-2 is carbonate, which makes this carbonic acid. PO4-3 is phosphate, okay, which makes this phosphoric. And then finally we have nitrite, which is nitrous acid. Okay, so just being familiar with these acids will be very useful throughout the year, so make sure you give these a try.